Welcome to the first edition of the In the Ring show. I'm Devious Damien with my partner Devastating Deb. And this is going to be our review of the Against All Odds pay-per-view of TNA. They kicked off the show with a number one contenders match for the X Division Championship. It was Zema Ion versus Jesse Sorensen. This match was rather short, and honestly, I don't think it was actually booked to be as short as it was. And Zema Ion ends up winning. Now, I'm not sure if Zema Ion would have been booked to win the match had Sorensen's injury not happened. I'm believing that he would have been regardless. I'm just thinking that, the ending wasn't planned. It just, kind of was like, shit.
Everybody seemed like they didn't know what the hell they were supposed to do. It didn't seem like it went as planned.
Yeah, and then...
including the ref.
Yeah, the ref even seemed like, he's like,
Because if you watch it, you'll notice he actually stopped counting. In the middle of counting, before he reached 10.
Yeah, and then, I guess, because they had to say something, I think when they announced it, they announced that Zema Ion had won via countout or something.
Mm-hmm.
They had to say something, so I think they just kind of went with the only story they could think of to come up with,
Well, I think they ended up finishing it, the count. They got back in there and finished it.
Well, yeah, but I mean, the point
after
is...
checking on them.
But yeah, I guess Jesse Sorensen has a neck injury, and he, was unable to, obviously continue the match, and I hope Jesse Sorensen, recovers soon. I think he's a good up-and-coming talent for TNA.
And all the fans want him up there.
Yeah. Next match was Robbie E issuing an open challenge. Now, before, Robbie's opponent was revealed, excuse me, okay, Mike Tenay acted dumbfounded as to what Robbie E was doing out there. Now, allegedly, on TNA has a YouTube channel, and I guess it had been announced hours before that Robbie E had done some sort of open challenge. So Shannon Moore ends up being the one responding to the challenge. Now,
which it was great to see him back in ring.
As much, I like Shannon Moore. But before I get to who won the match, well, yeah, I'll tell you who won the match in a minute. But I feel TNA kind of dropped the ball with it being Shannon Moore. Like I said, it's not that I dislike Shannon Moore. I like Shannon Moore. But what I feel they should have done was brought in somebody the fans would have been like, oh, shit. Anderson should have come back. The Pope should have come.
Anderson's still off on personal.
Or even the Pope, or somebody, the fans haven't seen in a while.
Moore has been gone for quite a while.
Yeah, but I mean, like,
the crowd did go pretty crazy for him.
Yeah, but I mean, somebody who, you can actually see, beating Robbie E. And once again, I like Shannon Moore, but, I really wouldn't have thought he would have beaten Robbie E. It
was a pretty good match.
Oh, I won't deny that. It was a decent match. The Pope should have come back, or maybe Devon, or, somebody.
Okay, maybe Devon.
But see, my friend... Oh, and by the way, watch the Off the Ropes show. They're... I like their show. It's very entertaining, so watch their show also.
But I don't agree with everything they say, but that's beside the point.
But anyway,
in fact, they tend to piss me off.
The Schleg Daddy said, that the TV title needs to be like that. That good mid-card title. Something that, you can put about halfway through the show, or maybe just slightly above halfway through the show. Something that, you can really, get behind and, believe it's a semi-important title. And I agree. TNA needs to do that with their television title. Next match was the Knockouts Championship between Gail Kim and Tara. I feel TNA dropped the ball with this one.
Yes, definitely.
You know, I feel Tara should have won. And here's why I feel Tara should have won. They should have played on the whole dissension between Gail Kim and Madison Rayne. And they should have had Madison turn on Gail Kim, costing her the belt.
Which she pretty much did. She walked away from her in the match.
Yeah.
So why didn't they go from that?
Yeah. And, you know...
It's kind of pointless the way they did it.
Yeah. And, you know, Gail Kim... Or not Gail Kim, excuse me. Tara and Madison were both wearing blue. You know, so they should have done something where... You know, that was like a little hint that Madison was going to turn. I know some of you are going to say, well, they've done Tara and Madison Rayne before. But see, here's where you switch it up, though. Because before, Tara was Madison Rayne's lackey. This time you kind of do it the other way around.
Yeah, but I think they're going to have Tara go out on injury because Gail Kim playing on her knee.
Yeah.
She really was messing with her knee a lot, and so I think Madison Rayne's going to come in and take over the feud with Gail Kim.
Yeah. The next match was the tag team championship match. Joe and Magnus versus Morgan and Crimson. Now, you know, I know a lot of people, you know, it was Joe and Magnus winning the tag belts. It wasn't the most popular thing that people really wanted to see, but
I didn't see it, and I'm glad I didn't, because I would have preferred the other two to win. I can't even think of names right now.
But you know, in a way, that Joe and Magnus had to win this time, only because if they lost this time and they continued the feud, the fans wouldn't have bought it anymore. The fans have been like, okay, get these guys the fuck out of here. They can't beat Morgan and Crimson.
Morgan and Crimson have had the belts for a while, and they are pretty much an unstoppable force. That's why, yeah, I agree with you on them needing to lose the belt, at least currently.
Yeah.
Even though I wasn't happy to hear about it.
The next match was... It was the X Division Championship match between Austin Aries and Alex Shelley. A solid match, very good
match.
Yeah, very good match. Aries wins. You know, actually, I'm a fan of Austin Aries as the champion. He's very good in the ring. He's good on the mic.
He's a pompous asshole.
But that's what makes him a good heel champion. You know, you want to see him get his ass kicked. You want to see him lose that title. And I think it's smart that TNA is keeping the belt on him.
But something has to happen soon with Shelley, because he came back early without his tag team partner. They couldn't have brought him back just for singles competition to not win anything.
Oh, I'm sure there'll be some sort of blow-off at some point in the near future where, you know, like Shelley wins the belt.
And Aries has to lose it, even if it's just for one night. He needs to lose it at least for a little while to bring the interest up. At least that's my opinion.
I think the reason they're letting Aries have the, you know, the TNA is doing like longer championship reigns is, you know, to bring credibility to the titles.
Yeah, but they're doing it with all of their belts.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, sometimes I guess it gets a little long and drawn out, but anyway. Then there was Kazarian versus AJ Styles.
And I'm getting tired of that.
Now this match, it was stupid and pointless. Don't get me wrong. I'm a big fan of Kazarian.
It was a good match, but the motives behind it.
You know, Kazarian and Styles are two great in-ring performers, but the reason I felt this match is pointless is you had two guys in the ring wrestling each other when really the feud is more about AJ Styles and Daniels. It's like, okay, so you're going to put these two in the ring when really the feud is about the two other guys.
That's why they claim Daniels set it up. But with how they have Sting as the one in charge of everything right now, it's kind of surprising that they'd have him accept it.
Yeah. Then you had Gunner and Garrett. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. If it wasn't for Hulk Hogan making this angle interesting, I wouldn't have given two shits about this whole fucking thing. Honestly. I'm sorry. You know, Hogan made it interesting. If it weren't, like I'm going to say it again, if it weren't for him, I wouldn't have given two fucks about
Garrett is doing pretty good, though. He is up and coming, but he should be a lower card at the moment.
Yeah, him being
he
near
needs to work his way up more.
Yeah, him being near the main event pissed me off. Like I said, Hogan's the only one that made me actually give a shit that this match
That's
was even...
why it was high card.
Yeah. I mean, it took... I mean, yeah, you had to put Hogan in it because do you really think without Hogan or Bischoff, Eric Bischoff, I mean, that the fans would have given two fucks about these guys going out there?
Now, how long is Hogan going to stick around this time?
That's a good question. That's one I wonder myself. Hogan is one of those handful of guys that I will forever shamelessly mark out for. But anyway, that's another story for another time.
You mark.
Then, finally, the show ended with the four-way match for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. Now, and of course, you had Sting as the special enforcer.
Yeah.
I don't like these special. I don't like special enforcer matches. Excuse me.
I actually do usually.
And special guest referee matches. My only problem with these matches is because
they play such a huge role.
Yeah, and most fans, like I said, who watched a few of these things, they don't wonder what the wrestlers are gonna do. They're like, oh, well, what role is the enforcer or the referee gonna play out?
Which is what the commentators were doing on this one.
Yeah.
At least before the match and near the end of the match, which obviously at the end of the match he played a humongous role.
And but here's what gets me. At WrestleMania 14, when Mike Tyson was a special enforcer, when Austin had Michaels pinned, what did Tyson do? He got in the ring and he counted, Michaels' shoulders down.
It's very well known that special enforcers can count.
But yet, okay, so, Bully Ray had somebody pinned. I can't remember if it was Storm or Hardy, but anyway, he had somebody pinned. And Sting just, instead of, getting the ring count, he's trying to revive the referee. Then Hardy has somebody beat and doesn't count. And
Which
then
I was surprised by that one.
And then
big time.
I think Storm even got screwed at one point, because I think even Storm had somebody down. Oh, wait, no, Storm didn't get screwed. The referee was kind of Bully Ray pulled him out of the ring.
Yeah. And then that's when Sting got involved.
Yeah. And then he albeit accidentally, gives an assist to Bobby Roode for to win the match.
But he could have refused to count. He could have been like, oh, wait a minute, I never saw any of this. I'm going to jump back out and check on the ref.
Yeah. Not only was he the special enforcer, but he's the boss, for fuck's sake. He could have been like, he could have just stood there and refused to count,
Plus, what about the fact that he hit Hardy because he was trying to hit Rude? Why would you go and hit Hardy and then all of a sudden, oh, hey, wait a minute, I'm not going to hit Rude now because I already hit someone? That's not how real life works or anything. That was just totally stupid. It was pointless.
The booking for this match was sloppy on so many levels.
And, what's her name, Christy Hemme or something like that?
Yeah.
Come on. Announcing these in-ring vets, and she's screwing up how many words? She's not normally that bad.
Yeah.
But tonight, I mean, not tonight, but the other night, can't even say Carolina.
Yeah. Well, where's North Carolina? Anyway.
Pretty much. Back to the match.
But yeah, the match was okay for what it was. I thought they should have devoted a little bit more time to it.
It was too short of a match for a four-way.
Yeah, the booking made no sense. Okay, I'm not so much against that they booked Bobby Roode to win. It's just the way they went about it was bullshit.
And every single person that won tonight was a heel, which
we're
starting to see that a whole lot in TNA and WWE.
But anyway, this has been the In the Ring show with our TNA Against All Odds review. Let us know what you think. All right.
More coming up.
Yep.